Good morning, Matt Frucci here from shows-FruciFit. If you didn't know, we help women in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s get in shape, have fun, and do more of the things they know they need to do. So yesterday we had our Q&A all about type 2 diabetes, pre-diabetes, and you're probably thinking, okay, what do you know about that? Well, I actually did my postgrad research in low-calorie diets and the compensatory effect of insulin resistance. Now, insulin resistance is about 90% of cases of type 2 diabetes is the problem there, which I'm going to explain in a minute. I then worked in the NHS, public health, running programs around diabetes. So I've always had a very big interest in it, partly because I'm such a fan of resistance exercise and the role of muscle in metabolic health. And that's my bias, but I'm also looking at the research going, there is definitely something there. So I'm going to explain this now and go through some of the evidence in terms of what you can do in terms of the diet. So type 2 diabetes, well, if we explain it, and I'm going to use this image here to help you understand it a bit more. So let's say in a normal metabolism compared to someone with type 2 diabetes. So in the normal metabolism, let's call him Dave. Dave eats an apple, and what happens is his glucose level in the blood goes up. Obviously, through this down, digestion starts in the mouth, both the same here. So their glucose levels spikes up. We won't go into how much it spikes, but as you'll probably know, you'll get more of a spike in this one than this one. Now, this is the reason why. And that's because this will signal to the pancreas that when the glucose level is high, the pancreas goes, right, we need to release some insulin. Insulin is a storage hormone. This helps shuttle, if you like, the sugar into the cells being muscle, for example. We need energy to go into here. So it almost is like the key to unlock the door of the muscle to get the sugar into there. The result of that is the blood sugar levels go down. They're of course not empty, you would be dead, but to show for illustration purposes, the blood sugar levels go down, they're back to normal, and you're good to go. You've got energy and you're feeling good. Now we compare this over here. You still, in most cases with type 2 diabetes, and I'm not going to cover the other ones today, you release those insulin, the keys, and the problem there is at the lock. And the lock is now rusty, okay? So where the lock is rusty, the blood sugar levels stay high. And what this does is cause a feedback loop. The feedback loop being glucose levels stay high, signals to the pancreas, release insulin, more keys, more keys. So you wouldn't get more keys cut if the key fits, but the lock's rusty, right? And the problem here is that's where you see the symptoms start happening. For example, I'm feeling really tired all the time. I'm weeing all the time. And that's because your body's trying to get rid of the glucose, and hence why urine and blood sugar in your urine is essentially where diabetes came from, the name, but sugar in your urine used to be the measure to see if you are. But the problem with that is it needs to be quite high actually to show up in urine. However, that aside, this is the premise of it. This is the basic of it. So what's happening now is you're not getting the glucose into the cells. It's staying high. This can cause issues from tiredness, like I said, weeing a lot. If left untreated for a long time, nerve issues, eyesight issues, worst case, amputation, you name it. Heart disease risk increases, etc. It's not good. So what does the research show? Well, we know that low-calorie diets have great research on, if done well with support. The 800-calorie diet, 600-calorie diet has great research on. However, there's also great research on more slow and steady approaches. And for most people, weight loss is key. Around 15% of your current starting weight here is shown to be needed for remission, but 5 to 7% shows an improvement, and everyone is different. You've then got exercise in there as well, and the cool thing about exercise, and I like to share this because if you are struggling for motivation, exercise is like the WD-40 for these locks. So for example, let's say you've got these keys there, you need that sugar to get in the muscle. Exercise acts as a WD-40 so you can open it and get the glucose levels back down. And that's powerful. So next time you're thinking, what's the point? Here's what's going on inside. Because remember, if you keep this going here, more coming in, more sugar coming in, more calories coming in. The problem is you're going to build up the fat around the liver, around the pancreas, which impacts all of this and makes it more inefficient. And eventually your pancreas just gives up. And that's where remission is very hard. And actually, maybe it's too late. You can obviously, to put it in complete remission, obviously you can control it better, manage it better. There's always something you can focus on. But it's a reminder that the best time to start is now. High fiber, shown to help. Controlling your calories, exercise. Get those little bits of exercise in, standing up in between meetings, going for little walks. They add up. They're the WD-40 on your locks. Anyway, I hope that helps. Any questions, as always, do let me know, and I'll see you